Right. Hey guys, how are we doing? So, Annie News still covering cut content from season 4 of Overlord. Like, how much was... Oh, it's unreal. I think it's amazing that there's so much cut out that he can still, with potentially not spoiling the movie. I'm pretty sure he's trying to avoid that as well. So, yeah, we're going to cover why AINZ really destroyed the kingdom. And, yeah, like, wow. Indeed, wow. Wowee.
Out of all the crazy things that happened in Season 4, the most important was actually something we've yet to talk about. It wasn't the invasion, the fights, or the subjugation of numerous races, but instead a simple conversation between two leaders vying for their people.
Mate,
An
I love
intimate
that
moment
conversation.
between a prince and a king in which a rare unspoken friendship was birthed between them. I'm not talking about that fake type of friendship AINZ thinks he has with Jerknip, but instead a real one where AINZ can drop the act and speak freely for once. It was a momentary break from his usual facade that resulted in what I believe is one of the most important scenes from Overlord. So, while we cover this last bit of cut content from Season 4, we'll come to learn exactly what it is AINZ has been fighting for. With AINZ's armies only 3 days away from the capital, Zanuck had set off with everyone he could to intercept them. The last army in the entire kingdom, consisting mostly of conscripts from neighboring domains, capital citizens, and able-bodied refugees. It was a force that totaled to about 400,000.
A lot of people.
People who had taken up arms to protect their loved ones from the cruelties of the Sorcerer King. So, it was after a half day's march to the nearby plains that the remaining time was spent building basic defenses for the imminent battle. You see, because AINZ's forces were walking a direct path to the capital, it was easy to know where exactly to set up so that they could intercept.
If he's going straight line.
Of course, any other enemy would have just gone around them, but considering the nature of the army that he was dealing with, Zanuck believed it unlikely for AINZ's forces to divert.
Why would he need to? Yeah.
Likely as a testament to their dominance and competence. If there was a strategically optimal play, though, then the best thing AINZ could do was literally nothing. You see, with an army of undead not needing supplies to sustain themselves,
it's definitely. He doesn't need to get food, doesn't need water.
That, or at least wait for the panic to set in. When you consider just how many supplies are required to feed 400,000 people, it won't take long for whatever stockpile Zanuck has to run out, especially when they're already limited to begin with. But even so, AINZ's forces still marched forward without the slightest hesitation. Perhaps because AINZ could easily kill them with a recast of his previous spell, or perhaps because they simply knew that they were stronger. Either way, the one thing Zanuck truly hoped to avoid was a repeat of last time. They easily could have split up their forces to make it harder for AINZ to do that, but with the previous loss of so many high-ranking officers, the number of people capable of commanding large forces just wasn't available.
Yeah,
it wasn't
really dipped.
If he did split everyone up into smaller regiments, then that would only render them uncontrollable. No longer would they be able to stand their ground, and his final defensive line would just collapse into a crowd of 400,000 people. At least by standing together, there was a sense of cohesion that granted courage and unity. That was the core thing driving them to stand up against this impossible enemy. Now, it was 2 days after Zanuck's arrival that AINZ's army would finally get there too. A small force consisting only of 10,000, in which a large majority could be split between 3 to 4 main types of undead. Seeing as how they didn't just walk straight through them, though, Zanuck knew he could use this momentary halt to commence a meeting. Not because he wished to have a battle of wits, but instead because he wanted answers. He simply wished to know why AINZ was doing this.
Alright, here we go.
For what reason could AINZ possibly have to be so vindictive here? Now, going alone was definitely a risk, but if AINZ had truly wanted to kill them, then he wouldn't have stopped his armies in the first place. Plus, it was a great way to highlight
haven't we already had this answer?
So
isn't it?
When AINZ received word of a royal envoy wishing to speak with
because
him,
he just sees him and his subordinates as above everyone else. Like, he just completely looks down on them.
The other potential eyes watching, AINZ knew that this was best. Of course, should something go wrong and he mind-controlled, then AINZ had come up with a contingency plan to save himself. Or at least contain himself. He had ordered Aura to use depiction of nature and society and have him sucked into a separate reality so he couldn't teleport out of it. That way he could stay there until something could be done to undo the brainwashing efforts. The reason such drastic measures were needed was because, for some reason, AINZ decided to leave his personal world items back in Nasric, thus rendering him vulnerable to the effects of other world items. Fortunately for him, though, such precautions weren't necessary since Zanuck just wanted to talk.
Yeah, not at all.
It was actually quite the relief for AINZ, since a battle of wits was something that he wasn't confident in. In fact, when it came to everything aside from military might, AINZ was positive Zanuck would be superior to him in it. He was, after all, true royalty.
I was going to say, would make sense.
That being the case, despite AINZ not knowing what awaited him from this conversation, he was ready to return gestures of respect or dole out insults. It really all depended on what Zanuck did. So, after conjuring 2 chairs and a table to converse at, Zanuck led the conversation with his first question of why. A question that followed with the same response we got in the anime. The kingdom was simply a scapegoat intended to send a message.
Right, yeah.
The core problem with a response like that, though, was that, at best, this was nothing more than a surface-level explanation. It was the reasoning AINZ would give when talking to a diplomat.
Oh, okay, we're talking about the kingdom specifically.
Not
yeah,
the true heartfelt answer that he was really thinking. Where more of that truth does start to come out, though, is after Zanuck follows up with another why. This time wondering why AINZ was being so extreme about it. Like, if AINZ really wanted to send the message of not to defy him, then there were definitely other less hostile ways to do so.
Yes.
But because he had chosen this one, Zanuck couldn't help but ask why he was being so vindictive. In the anime, he had used the word close-minded, but I believe vindictive serves better to highlight exactly how Zanuck is. He currently just sees AINZ as this vengeful leader killing everyone out of spite. So, being dissatisfied with AINZ's previous answer, Zanuck once again asks for what it is that he's really after. And it's this additional pressing of the same question from before that leads AINZ deep into thought over exactly that. It's an important contemplative moment that does well to summarize everything Overlord's been about so far. So, in this culminative moment of self-reflection, AINZ recalled a past in which his friends from Yggdrasil were everything to him. Glorious memories from a life now gone that AINZ truly wished
good
that he
times.
could see once more. That may have been why he invited everyone to log back in on the day the servers were closing, but in the end he believed that to be was actually just the beginning. The NPCs his friends made had come to life, and with each of their actions he could sense the spirit of the companions who made them.
Yeah, they reflect their personalities, don't they?
Might betray him, but looking back now, that was nothing more than a foolish thought stemming from how absurd everything was. In a time when nothing really made sense, it was only natural AINZ take every precaution needed to ensure his safety. Once that fear began to fade, though, AINZ's main concern quickly shifted to that of other players. You see, after seeing the amount of signs that indicated their presence, it was extremely likely other players were in the New World as well. Or, at least, that's what AINZ was
You would
hoping
think
was the case.
it's a possibility.
When the small hints of their influence began to grow into bigger ones,
yeah.
there was a small glimmer of hope that began to spur in him. Perhaps his dear friends may have been transported alongside him. Perhaps the people with whom he shared these precious memories were also here. Of course, it being present at the same time.
I can't wait to see how this story progresses, man. It's so good.
The odds his friends were here weren't so likely anymore. It was a thought that led to a feeling of loneliness that intensified every time he'd use his spells or gather information. Like, the more he found out about his new environment, the more he yearned for his friends to be here to experience it with him. But as time went on without much else than these small signs of Yggdrasil, the dream of finding his friends slowly began to fade. He did still carry hope that one day he would find them, but that would always be present so long as he didn't know they were gone for sure. It was a testament to just how special they were to him. A hope that some may consider foolish or pathetic, but nonetheless one that represented everything that was once important to him. So, as fate would now have it, this hope of making more memories with the friends of his past was now slowly being replaced by a strong commitment to protect their creations. These NPCs that he once saw as strangers were now akin to the children of those most important to him.
Yeah, so he needs to protect them all. I thought we covered this already.
As the last one left from the guild who birthed them, AINZ saw it as his personal duty to keep them safe. And that was a goal in which he would stake everything on. If sacrificing everything else was the cost of ensuring their safety, then AINZ had no problem letting the rest of the world suffer for it. So long as the NPCs weren't in danger, then literally everyone else didn't matter. AINZ refused to allow a single soul from Nasric to be lost, especially after what had happened with the Shaltir
Oh god,
incident.
yeah, Jesus Christ.
When Shaltir was mind-controlled and turned against him, that's when AINZ knew that he needed to make Nasric stronger. He needed to ensure nothing like that would ever
happen again, yeah, Jesus.
So, it was after thinking about all that and more that AINZ would finally answer Zanuck with happiness. You see, when he boiled down his motives to the most basic of reasons, the one that made the most sense to him was happiness. That was, after all, the ultimate goal for all creatures. What made this moment so particularly special, though, was the brief respite AINZ had taken from his usual act. He was no longer talking to Zanuck like the ruler of a nation, but instead speaking to him as he would a friend. It was a rare moment in which AINZ had spoken freely for once. This, combined with the surprising response AINZ had given, were the core things leading Zanuck to his conclusion after. So, when the meeting was done and the two had parted, Zanuck felt AINZ to be shockingly human. Sure, his body was skeletal and his aura demonic, but the motivation AINZ had given was one that anyone could relate to. I mean, it was rather human to strive for the happiness of those you cared for.
Well, yeah.
And it's for that reason that Zanuck felt AINZ to be just like any other human. So, with that intimate moment wrapping up things between Zanuck and AINZ, his return to camp was met with little strategic talk on what could be done next. An assembly that didn't last long since it was quickly interrupted by some feudal lords.
Oh god, yeah, his
Now, Zanuck did
demise.
expect a rebellion to happen at some point, but he never expected it to happen here. It was an oversight on his part that only left himself to blame. You see, because he couldn't sense where the hearts of his nobles lay, the only thing that meant was that he failed as the king to instill courage and unify them. It was a clear indicator that he wasn't the same eminent figure that his father was, a person of reputation that the people could rally behind. But even so, Zanuck committed to following through with the royal position that he made for himself. It may not have been something that he was cut out for in the end, but as a person that lacked any of the traits that his family had, he still did everything he could to make his country better. So, despite not even wanting to be king in the first place, Zanuck made the most of what he had and still tried his best to fight for his people. In the end, he was fighting for the exact same thing AINZ was. Now, I'm sure plenty of you were looking forward to the extra information about the fate of those feudal lords, but aside from their families being sent to Neuronist as well, the rest was exactly as we saw.
Right.
I would even go so far as to say better. The way the OST sets the tone along with AINZ's dismissive nature were all things that highlighted just how perturbed he was. And that was actually pretty awesome to see animated. But yeah, that's what I think was the most important scene in Overlord.
Okay, fair.
Now, before I go, I did release a new Overlord video last week,
Yeah.
so if you haven't gotten the
That was
chance
good.
to check it out yet, then you can do so.
You've got
now
one
with the link
more,
in the
haven't you?
description. You can also find the Armory desk mats there as well. But anyway, as always, thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this type of anime content, then you already know what to do. So, until next time, ciao.
Ciao. I think like it did cover like some bits we've already seen in a cut content video, but it did cover little other bits as well. So fair, and yeah, it's mad how much was left out. I'm looking forward to the movie, and I'm sure he had one more Guardian that he said he was going to cover in a video as well, the floaty pink thing with wings. But yeah. Thank you to my patrons. If you want to have your name at the end of every video, I upload a link in the description to the Patreon page. $1 a month is all I ask. I'll split shows. Greatly appreciate it. Thank you guys very much for that. Thank you all for watching. What do you guys think of that? What do you guys think of this? Click like, subscribe, and leave comments down below. Let me know if you watch some future videos. I'll see you guys next time.